Let's go for a little drive, area by area, checking out each zone, trying to fly in it, see what the results are, go over the rules and regulations that apply to it so that you can understand your airspace very clearly and you know when and where and how you can fly this before one of these guys approach you. It is raining on and off, but hey, within the little rain and drizzles, whenever we get a break like now, we're gonna have to get the drone up, see what happens. So I'm just gonna put it right outside. There you go. Hopefully nobody pulls up, parks right next to me and crushes the drone. Click on your maps below. Bam. There you go. Your map's open. Now click on the top right. There's a little circle there with a little, what looks like an eye in it. Click on that and you will see all the zones pertaining to your maps, where you can fly and where you cannot fly. First things first, there's restricted area, then there's altitude zone, then there's enhanced warning zone, and then there's warning zone, and then there's authorization zone. If you look next to each one, there's a little circle that can toggle it on and off, so you can see each one of these things on your map. Or if you toggle all off, there you go, you don't see any. Happy flying. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Settle down. So we're going to go through all of these one by one, starting with warning zones. That's where I am sitting right now. I'm the triangle.
Has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Yes, please check it on the map. And then there's enhanced warning zones. As you can see, I am where the triangle is, and the enhanced warning zone, I am just outside of that. Don't worry, we're going there next. First, let's start with the warning zone, which I am sitting in right now. As you can see, enhanced warning zone, I am not. I am in the warning zone only. So let's see what happens. It's not even drizzling. Let's start up. It says takeoff permitted, so that's okay. Here we are.
Takeoff.
Aircraft in warning zone, class D airspace, fly with caution. So let's just fly as we're here. I mean, might as well.
The home point has been updated. Please
What the
check it
hell?
on the map.
Sensor error. What sensor? We're not gonna fly far. We're not gonna fly high. Payload enabled. Oh, that's why. Uh-oh. I was flying with my on. I was flying with, let's take that off. That's the problem why I'm getting the sensor error. I was flying with the prop guards for the last video. Did you guys see the last video, by the way? Check it out. It's flying in tight spaces. Link right here. Anyway, back to this video. Whoa, what is that? We don't want to hit that. But yeah, no problems in the zone that I'm in right now. So let's head back. Great, we got it back. When it comes to warning zones, it's because we're near an airport. So let me zoom out here and you will see that I will take off. Here we go. There's an airport called Republic Airport in East Farmingdale. That's close to where I am, as you can see on the map right now. And every time you're starting to get close to an airport, that's when DJI starts warning you, so you are aware of your surroundings, not that you cannot fly. And that's a good thing, because it'll prompt you to check and it'll prompt you to look and see where the airport is and stuff like that. No, I'm not seeing all of the warnings because I haven't turned them on, because we're only doing one at a time. So with that being said, let's go back to me where I am at the home point over here, and let's turn on the other one, which is enhanced warning zone. So there's an enhanced warning zone not too far from here, so let's go check it out. enhanced warning zone. There's a warning on the screen, as you can see here. It says Republic enhanced warning zone, continue flight confirmation checklist. What do they want me to check? I agree to full liability for flying in this area. You have to check the box. Okay, I'll check the box. As long as you allow me to fly. I hope I get liability if somebody parks and runs over the drone parked next to me. All right, so let's do this. We're in full HD. It says takeoff permitted. So like I always say, if you're going to permit me, then why not? All right. All right. I did get a warning.
The point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
There's some cool stores out here. Let's see what we got out here. It does say Class D airspace. I don't know if you saw that when it came up just now, but I am in a Class D airspace. Pier 1 imports. Sorry. Babies R Us. Didn't know they were still around. That was Toys R Us. No, there's a Hobby Lobby out here. There's an Ultra out here. Yeah. So pretty much, well, I guess I can fly according to DJI because, well, because I'm flying. Okay. Hey Google, what's a enhanced DJI warning zone?
An enhanced warning zone is a circular area that extends 2 kilometers outwards from the perimeter of an authorization zone. When a drone is approaching this area from the outside, the DJI Go app will issue a warning. Users must then confirm that they wish to continue flying.
Now 2 kilometers outside of an authorization zone. So what is an authorization zone now? So let's go find an authorization zone and then kind of put all the pieces of this puzzle together. Let's go. Let's take a look at this map right here. I'm able to take off, I'm able to fly because I'm in a yellow zone, and a yellow zone is only a enhanced warning zone. See, it's gone. There comes the yellow, back again. There comes the yellow's gone, yellow's back again. Enhanced warning zone. Right? But I'm approaching this blue circle. See, blue circle gone, blue circle is back. That blue circle is a, whoa, bird zone. Did you see those birds, or was it just me? Now let's go a little higher, get away from the birds, will you? All right, now back to the point. This blue zone is a DJI authorization zone. Let's try and break through the zone. We're going in sports mode, full force ahead. Let's see what happens. Well, I'm getting a warning that says aircraft authorization zone, exit zone promptly. I am full stick forward. Look, full stick forward, and this drone will not go. It will not go into an authorization zone no matter what you do. It's just not happening, guys. You cannot fly into or take off in an authorization zone. The drone just won't allow you. So what is this authorization zone stuff? What is it all about? How does it affect you? What do you need to know about all these zones? Well, let's get right into it. Before you even think about taking off or flying in one of these zones, whether it be the warning zone, which shows the yellow circle, which you saw earlier, I was able to take off and fly, no problems. Or it be an enhanced warning zone, which all DJI asked me to do was check a box and off I go. Whether it be an authorization zone, which is the blue circle, which is probably the craziest, that I'll explain to you in a little bit, because yes, I did get blocked from flying in, and I did get blocked from taking off into the blue zones, but I can unlock it. But before I talk about unlocking, let's finish with the warning zones and the enhanced warning zones. As you see here on the screen, the first yellow to orange line is the warning zone, and then the enhanced warning zone is the second line there, the thick orange line that's right there by the elementary school. That's where the enhanced warning zone starts. Now fine, just because I was able to check a box and take off, or not even have to check a box, just take off, that doesn't mean that I was in compliance. That doesn't mean that I did not need any authorization. DJI warns you because you need authorization to fly in these zones. These are controlled airspace. You saw the warning came up, Class D airspace, controlled. I mean controlled airspace. It's controlled by the tower. I have to let these people know that I will be utilizing this airspace. Otherwise, I pack it up and I just leave. Just because I'm allowed to take off doesn't mean I have the right or authorization. And this is what you need to understand, that you didn't see me do, that I'm going to explain to you now, that you need to know. 9 out of 10. And that's why I tell you, download that Kitty Hawk app. You download the app, you open up the app, it looks like this. You hit maps and it shows you basically an outline of controlled airspace. And right now I'm in controlled airspace. As you know, you saw from the DJI app as well, it also shows you the airspace. But the difference with this app is that you can take it a step further, hit get authorization as a recreational pilot, and get authorization to fly. Now, this is only available at airports that are enrolled or have access to the what's called the low altitude authorization system, the LANC system. The airports like this one that participate in this program, yes, you can do it right on the spot. It only takes a few minutes and you can map out where you want to fly, and boom, that's what I did. And that's why I was able to not take off, because DJI allows you to take off regardless, but that's how I was able to stay in compliance. So why am I letting you know this? Because I don't want you to go to one of those yellow circles and be like, oh, let me check a box and fly. No, go to your Kitty Hawk app and hit get authorization. Now, I have authorization. How high do you need to fly? I can fly up to 400 feet. And it says here, eligible for auto approval. I just hit next. I follow the steps. I tell them blah, blah, blah. I made a whole video that shows you how to get authorization. Just click the link right here and it shows you step by step. I don't want to get into that now. I want to let you know that just because you're allowed to take off or check a box and take off doesn't mean you're authorized. And you should get authorized first. And even as a hobbyist, you can get it. Just download the app, sign up, and get it done so the ATC that's nearby knows that you're there. Now, in order for you to be able to fly in the blue zone, and we're going to talk about the blue zone because it's a little bit more complex. Basically, once you're in the yellow zone, the warning zones, you can take off and fly at whatever altitude Kitty Hawk tells you, and you can fly that entire zone, no problem. The blue zone is a little bit tricky, and that's why DJI blocks you from entering or grounds you from taking off until you get authorization. Right? Why is authorization so important here? To make sure you get that authorization first before you take off. Why is it so important in the blue zone, but it's not so important? Yes, you do need authorization in the yellow and the enhanced zones, both zones, but why is it the DJI doesn't block you there, but they block you in the blue? Well, that's what we're going to get into right now. Let's take a look at the blue zone. The blue zone basically, as you can see here, falls somewhere in Sunrise Highway. So I'm going to jump over Sunrise Highway and you're going to see why now. So let's go to Kitty Hawk. Now, as you go over Sunrise Highway, somewhere right here, I'm going to put a pin right here. Now I'm in the blue zone. And what does that mean? Look at the blue zone carefully. As you go the blue zone, you notice it's yellow. See, right around here is yellow. Right around here is green. And as soon as I jump over this line, bam, guess what that is? That's red. Red means, if I scroll this up and I look, it says permissible altitude for authorization 0. I cannot even try to get authorization to fly there. But if I pinch over here and I touch here, right between the yellow and the greens, guess what? It's permissible for up to 200 feet. But here's the catch. Once you get authorization and you tell DJI, look, I have authorization, and DJI says, hey, if you're authorized, give us your phone number. So we have some kind of information to hold for you, or a credit card. They'll hold either your phone number or your credit card. You have to give it to DJI, and they will send you a token number. You punch that number in when you go to take off. They'll ask you, hey, you're in an authorization zone. Give us the token. You give them that token number. The DJI will text to you once they have either your credit card or your phone number, so they have some information on you, and they'll say, yes, you can take off. Go right ahead. Now, once that drone is unlocked in that blue zone, even though I'm in the blue zone right now, if I click over here, that's also the blue zone. DJI doesn't block you. Once you get authorization to fly in that blue zone, you can fly anywhere in that blue zone, whether it's permissible or not. And be careful with the blue zones, because the blue zones put you even closer to the airports, and you don't want to be in a 0 altitude or flying in a 0 altitude area when you have permission to fly in the blue zone. This is still the blue zone, but it's not 0 altitude. I can get authorization. Step over this line, it's trouble. So with Kitty Hawk, what they make you do, if I hit get authorization, wait, let me cancel that. Let me go in the good zone, and I hit get authorization, and I hit recreational. You should be hitting recreational, because you, if you're 107, you probably know this already. It's going to give me this box to draw an area of where I'm flying. If I only draw the box in here, guess what? Look, how high do you need to fly? 0 feet. If I come out of this box, boom, look, the green goes up to 200 feet. So now I can map out the area using these boxes of where I want to fly. And then you really have to know your neighborhood, like zoom in, take note of the streets, which street intersects the point at which you must stop, because once you cross over there, you are in violation. Now, you just let them know your altitude, say about 150 or whatever it is, hit next, let them know when you're going to fly, how long you're going to be flying for, but click next. See, eligible for auto approval, it shows you the airport. By doing this, clicking next, whoops, that's my personal information, checking all of these boxes that says, yes, I understand, I know, and this is what you're learning now, how to interpret and read and know, so you don't go over while flying in these authorization zones. And then you check all the boxes and you hit agree and submit. Boom, look at that, it turns blue. That means I have authorization. Now, I'm not going to fly here, but at least ATC is going to know that, well, there's a drone flying around here, and now I have authorization. I did the same thing for the yellow zones. Even though I could have taken off and fly, I have to do the same, and you have to do the same for the yellow zones as well. Now that I have authorization, I can go back to my DJI app and I can try to take off in a authorization zone. Now, when you go to take off in an authorization zone, DJI obviously is going to block you and tell you that you need to unlock. Now, in order to unlock, your Mavic Mini drone has got to be on the latest firmware, otherwise you won't be able to unlock. So that means if you didn't want to update your firmware like me, you will have to update it in order to fly in authorization zones. The other thing that you will have to update is the DJI Fly app. If you do not have your phone set to auto update apps as they push updates, then you manually have to go into your app store and tell it to update the DJI Fly app to the latest version. If you want to know the process for unlocking, I'll leave a link right here. Click on that and you'll see how the process works for you to unlock your drone and get authorization. Once DJI gets your phone number, your credit card again, they will give you the authorization that you need to enter, whether it be fly into the blue section or take off and fly in the blue section. But you really need to know what you're doing, right? Now, certain airports do not subscribe to this program, this LANC program, the low altitude authorizations, and as a result, you won't be able to just do this on the Kitty Hawk app. Certain airports like JFK, big airports like JFK and LaGuardia, they don't subscribe to this low altitude authorization. So if you're in a yellow zone, technically you're not allowed to fly there. What you can do is go to I'll leave a link in the description that you can go to the FAA and try to apply and see if they will give you permission to fly in those areas without having to do the Kitty Hawk thing. If you give the FAA your information, I know people who've done it and they've gotten up to 1 year to fly within the limitation with what the Kitty Hawk app says, without having to go through the authorization process. Just get it one time online at your computer and that's it. If you want me to do another video on that, let me know in the comment section as well. We have not spoken about restricted zones. Restricted zones are in red because you just can't fly there. The DJI app will not allow you. It's not going to happen as a recreational hobbyist. You can just forget about it. So don't even think about taking off or flying in these red zones. These are pathways where the planes come in or where the planes take off, and as a result they need to keep this airspace clear of any other flying vehicles. With that being said, you see that red, don't even go there. Last but not least, there is the altitude zone. Now if you notice, the altitude zone runs in line with these red lines as well, and that's because this is the path that the planes usually take to when they're taking off and when they're landing, and that's when they can be at their lowest. So these paths here, what DJI does in these gray areas, if you click on it, you will see that it says targeted area altitude is limited to 60 meters. So you will not be able to fly above 60 meters. Doesn't matter if you have authorization, because you happen to be in a yellow zone that says you can fly up to 300 or 400. Because you're in this gray path, it will limit you to 60 meters. If you try to go higher, the drone will block you. Pretty much you'll be pushing on that stick and you're going nowhere. And if you want to fly higher, you just come out to like where I put the pin over here, and then you can fly higher. There's no limitations as to where you can fly. So be aware of that. The DJI drones will automatically, they're programmed to stop you from going higher, which is good and which is convenient. And hey guys, it's all about safety, right? So that pretty much explains the maps. Now you know everything about these maps. You know about the restricted zones. You know about the altitude zones that restrict the altitude. You know about the enhanced warning. You know about the warning zones. And of course, you know about the infamous authorization zone. Right, so I know a lot of you guys want to unlock because your house is in an authorization zone because you're close to the airport, obviously. But make sure you're in a part of the authorization zone that you can get authorization to fly in. Right, so be aware of that. Do not break the rules. Do share this video with anyone who you know flies DJI Mavic Mini. And it's not only the Mavic Mini, this applies to all drones in general. If you live outside of the US, things might be different, so check with your local authorities and government agencies to make sure that you are following the rules, you're in compliance. With that being said, hit thumbs up, hit thumbs down, make sure you give this video a like. Do hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I release more DJI Mavic Mini videos. Of course, this video would not be possible without our sponsors, autonomousdroneservices.com and madmixtube.com. Big shout out to them. And you guys won't be hearing from me for another 2 weeks because I'll be working on my FAA NPRM video. Do leave a comment, let me know if this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys when I can. I'm still giving away 6 DJI Mavic 2 Pros or zooms. Head over to my Patreon account, donate $1, become a patron, and automatically you're entered to win a chance to win one of 6 of those drones. Guys, let's make this happen. Come on, support me and help me support you.